It is a Tuesday night here in Bryan County. It's 8 o'clock. It seems to be a little bit early for a BCP Live, but you know what? It's 2025, so we might do things a little bit different this year. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joey McWilliams with the Bryan County Patriot. Our BCP Live, well, it was kind of dark for a little while, and I understand that. That's just part of it. Life goes on, kids and everything else, and all kinds of work. And we won't even talk about what all stuff that I went through last summer. So that's in the past. Praise God, I'm doing well. But I'm very glad to be with you tonight and to bring us back here in the spring and get our regular rotation on Tuesday night going. I want to bring back a friend of the channel here, and that is one West Huggins, who is going to be in our area again very, very soon. It's less than 2 months now since we're at the start of April, and you're going to be here at the very end of May.
That's
Wes,
right.
man, I am glad that you're coming back again. And you know what that means? That means it's just about rodeo time here in Bryan County.
That's exactly right. I would love to come over there and just hang out one week, but when I come, it is 100 miles an hour of PRCA rodeo and great people. And we always look forward to coming back to Durant. And you're right. It's when you said that, it's only a couple months away. I didn't realize that till you just said that. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
You better get ready. It's
Yeah.
going to be May 30th and 31st. And of course, those dates, by the way, coincide with the Magnolia Festival in Bryan County, too. So that's something to get on your calendar. And lots of folks go both places. Magnolia Festival get underway on the Wednesday and really properly on the Thursday. And then, of course, the rodeo on Friday. But also, I mean, there's some slack. There's some stuff going on Thursday, too, as well, isn't there?
Well, for us, Thursday is pretty much everybody get your gears in line and make sure we sound check. We do video checks and we run stock through. We check stock and arena prep and banner prep. And it's surprising. A lot of people, it's hard for them to understand that the rodeo doesn't start at 7 o'clock. It starts like months in advance for many people. And Thursday is when you get done about midnight that night, you go, okay, now we're going to put on a rodeo.
Exactly. That's what I feel like sometimes when we see things on TV, or even if you buy a ticket and you just show up and you get there just in time to see something get going, I don't know if we always appreciate, and I say we, not just you or anyone else be listening, I say we may not always appreciate all that goes into it. And there is so much work that goes into something that happens in a 48 or 72 hour period. So props to you on what you're doing. And I want to give a shout out there. Listen, it's a good time to come again because you're going to be at the Riding Club Arena, Durant Riding Club Arena there off South 9th in Durant, right? Pretty much in what I think of as the heart of Bryan County. And folks can come all the way around. Hopefully, the weather's going to be good, but it doesn't matter because it's rodeo. It's going to happen one way or the other. But we do hope for good weather so we can fill it up. You know, last year, West, there were some improvements to the facilities. That the Cross Pavilion had come in, and the bathrooms were upgraded and improved. That's a big deal. It really is. That's a big deal. It may seem like something small. It's a big deal, but there are more improvements on the way.
There is one great improvement that I know that Eric Loftus, the president, is thrilled about is they have brand new electricity with new arena lights out there. And some people might say, well, okay, new arena lights. That's a major feat when you are lighting up a full rodeo arena. But they have had some great support. And you hit the nail on the head when you talk about the improvements. A lot of people don't realize is like a rodeo committee and other nonprofit organizations like this, they don't have a steady flow of a salary that comes in. These are folks that are volunteering their time and looking for support to do these type of projects. And it's pretty phenomenal when you see a rodeo nowadays that is making an improvement every single year. There's something new on their list. We go to a lot of rodeos all across the U.S., and there's a lot of them that just can't make that improvement. They just don't have the funds or not the support. But when you go out there with Durant, you'll be very surprised to see especially two guys that really work very hard out there, which is Eric and Jory Whitlock, that have been instrumental with the hard labor out there. And those guys can use some help. I mean, I don't think they're going to turn anything away from anything. And when you say, a lot of people say, "Oh, Wes, you've worked hard on the rodeo." I didn't work near as hard as what my committees work. My job is the more, getting the stats and trying to figure out things, production, stuff like that. But the hard work is actually done before I ever get to town. And it's phenomenal that when you think about it, my job is based on volunteers that take time off their jobs, off their vacation, out of their pockets for me and my family to come. So I tip my hat to those type of guys.
Well, and definitely we do that. I do it symbolically. You actually could physically tip your hat at the moment.
I could. I ain't brushed my hair this morning, so I'm going to keep it.
But shout out definitely to Eric Loftus and to Jory Whitlock and all the volunteers. And I don't know if she's watching right now, but I have an idea that Susan Edlin at some point in time, if she's not watching live, will watch this. And so a shout out to her. And again, all the volunteers. There's so many people that give of themselves to make this happen. There's something another area too, Wes, that I'm hearing about to bring more participants in, contestants in at the rodeo. There's being an increase in added money. Tell us a little bit about that and what that means for the competitors, and I would say, I guess, for everybody, because the more competitors that come in makes for an even more fun-filled night.
It does. So if you're kind of new to the term added money, the way that works is that contestants all have to pay an entry fee to compete at the rodeo, and that's 99% of rodeos across the world. If they only competed for just their entry fee only, their payout would not be not very good at all. And so what committees do when you sponsor rodeo, you're not just sponsoring just a commercial during the rodeo or things like that. What you're actually helping out do is to draw more contestants. So they take that sponsor money and they put it into the pot, and that's the added money into the purse. Each event has different levels of added money. And this year, Durant is increasing their added money. The bull riding will have $6,000 in added money. The Lane Frost brand is bringing that on. And so what that means is they're going to add $6,000 plus whatever the contestant's entry fee is to the total purse. Now, some people might say, well, that doesn't seem like, that big of a deal, but it is a big deal because what contestants have gotten smart over the years. With the technology, they can look and they will analyze what rodeos have the most added money, and that's where they enter. The days of entering a rodeo just because it's a rodeo, those are long gone. Fuel is expensive, and horses are expensive, trailers, everything, and so they want to get more bang for their buck. And so I think this is the right step for a rodeo, especially in bull riding. It's a hard lesson because bull riding sells tickets at the end of the day, and we want bull riding, and we want bucking horses, and we want everything. But I applaud Durant for taking that step and increasing. In my opinion, what they're doing is they're increasing the ticket value of their rodeo by doing that.
Absolutely. Well, I agree with you, Wes. It's a big deal, and well, here we are in 2025. You're right. Let me slow down and say this again. There is so much information that is at our disposal to be able to make the best decisions. Right. And so, these rodeo participants are no less have that at their fingertips to be able to do it. Shout out to Dottie Levi, by the way. It's good to see Dottie's name come up in the comment section. Dottie, you're the first comment that we've had in a long time. That's because we haven't been on the air in a long time, but you're the first comment still. So I would be disappointed if I didn't see your name come up over there. So thanks for watching tonight. And to anyone else, give us a shout out. Let us know from where you happen to be watching BCP Live tonight. Here with Wes Huggins talking about the Durant PRCA Rodeo that is coming to town at May 30th and 31st. One of the things, West, and I know you talked about the added money and some other things that are there. I know that, again, the work's not done. And if I brought Susan Edlin into the picture right now, we never know where she is. She can be anywhere. And just look over your shoulder. She might be there watching, but she's also looking for sponsors. She's looking for somebody to participate and to help out and to make the Durant Rodeo a big deal, which it has become and is increasing in its growth. So talk about sponsors there. I know they're still looking.
Well, the thing about it is they're always looking for sponsors, and I think any rodeo is looking for sponsors. The advantage that you have with helping out the Durant Riding Club is, yes, you get some advertising during the rodeo, but not only are you helping the pro rodeo, you get to take the burden off the cost to help the riding club with their other events that they have. You know, they have a junior rodeo event that you're helping kids out with. They might have some scholarships that they give, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is a rodeo. You're not just sponsoring just the rodeo. You're actually sponsoring an organization. It's very surprising how humble that rodeo committees are with how much money that they give to other organizations and to kids. Kids are a big deal. But when you're looking for something to give your dollars to that actually goes to actual local people, I think a rodeo is a great example and a great place to put your money. But Durant has had some great success. 360 Broadband came to him and is a major sponsor this year. And I think that they saw the value in what that rodeo brings. If you were there at the rodeo last year, we had a phenomenal crowd, and it was people of all ages. That's a good sign. Yeah. And as in my marketing and advertising company, that's something that we look for. We don't want just one age group. We want everybody. And we have the full color replay screen, and you can see your logo up there at certain levels and things. And so there's just not a bad place to sponsor a rodeo. And I know that sounds vague, and I hope it doesn't sound like a salesman, but you know, when you go sponsor other events, what are you really getting out of it? You know, rodeo, you get a lot of bang for your buck, in my opinion. So I think
I asked you to sell it. So that's I want
hey guys, let's no.
I want you to, because I think it's a product worth speaking positively about, and that when people do, you know, back something like that, especially in a place like Bryan County, Oklahoma, then I think it's a big deal. And
it is.
No, I was just going to say, I want you to finish that thought. I was just saying, I know these people that put the work in, and they're good people. So anyway,
they are. Well, all I was going to say is that when you look at a rodeo that has returning major sponsors like Choctaw Casino and Resort, Stuteville, and Discover Durant, you know they're doing something right, because those type of companies, just like 360, if they're not getting their value, you know that they wouldn't re-up. Because in today's world, your business is business, and some people might get their feelings hurt, but when people don't re-up their sponsors, something happened. And Durant has a lot of return business, and that's a very good sign, in my opinion. Where else do you go that you get good service, you get great food, you get great drinks? And I mean, y'all have it a lot more in Oklahoma, but in my part of the country, we don't get great service like you guys get. So, but yeah, I just, it's very near and dear to my heart to see people give to a rodeo. I've seen rodeos give to families in need over Christmas. I've seen rodeos help kids in hospitals, and they never want to talk about it. And I think that it's time that people understand that rodeos really give back to communities.
Absolutely. Well, I know, and we were talking just a little bit before we went on the air tonight, I know you've got a lot going on, so I want to give you an opportunity to get back with what you were doing with your family tonight, but I appreciate you stopping by here for our live broadcast. And the
Yes,
first
sir.
time in 2025 that we've done a live broadcast for BCP Live. So I couldn't think of anyone better to open our calendar year than with West Huggins, who's going to be here again. It's officially less than 2 months now. It's the first day of April. He'll be here on the last days of May. And I don't know, maybe stay a night and be here the next day of June. I don't know what your schedule is from that point in time. But I will tell you this, folks. If you want to come out to watch good entertainment, first off, come to the rodeo. Okay, I'm giving my promotion for that, and I will also do it over the next 50 some odd days prior to the rodeo and during the event itself. And we'll be out there too. We'll be on site. The Bryan County Patriot will be there as always. We always like to show up there for visits and interviews and just to see what's going on. I brought my kids, and we like to do that again. But I will also tell you folks that if you want to hear somebody who is good at what he does, I mean, obviously all the contestants and all the participants, they're good at what they do out there in the arena. But the man that keeps it going with what he says and just the flow of the night, West, everything that you do with quality, and you represent yourself. And I believe, your state, your country, and God well. And I appreciate what you do. So I want to give you a shout out right here on BCP Live. Thank you for what you do.
Man, I appreciate that. That's what that's the stuff that means the most to me. I really work hard to try to make sure that we cover everything that you just said. We understand everybody's in entertainment, but at the same time, where else are you going to go to honor God, honor our country, honor our states, and just get back to reality for a little while. And that's what I've been saying since 2020. We're back in reality when we go to a rodeo, and it's always a great time. And the thing about it is at Durant this year is it's a family. They're always been a family of ours. I have to look back to see how many years I've been coming to Durant, but it's great to come back over there. Just before we move on, they're going to sell their ticket. They're going to start their ticket sales May 1st. And that's a great thing that they're starting that early. Bochita Tag Office and Dinner's Western Wear in Sherman, the Durant Chamber of Commerce, Copper Kettle, they're going to have all those. They'll also be selling tickets online. And they're going to have $10 advance tickets. You save $5 if you get them advanced, 15 at the gate, and the kids 6 to 12 are going to be $5, and 5 and under are free. That's cheap entertainment, in my opinion. And the reason I know that is I went to the movies the other day, and I did not realize how expensive it was. So
absolutely, it is. Well, and not cheap in a bad sense. It's
no.
So
it's cheap on the pocketbook. I'll say that. We're going to give you as much bang as we can for a buck. But man, what you guys do, especially at BCP Live, for coming out to the rodeo, you've come out and gotten an inside look at the announcer stand, and just kind of giving everybody an inside look. I appreciate that because you're giving people a view that some people have never seen before. And there's a lot of moving parts that people don't realize. And to me, that maybe some people will appreciate the rodeo that much more when you do what you do. So I appreciate.
Well, thank you. I hope to get to show up there again too. Maybe the only time I get to see you is if I go up there because you're going to be working. We've already talked about that. So Jack Levi says, are we ready for the 2025 PRCA Durant Pro Rodeo?
Absolutely.
We are ready for it, but we have to wait about 50 some odd days. So keep that in mind, Jack. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Shelly Dunham watching tonight. Good evening, fellas. So Wes, she says hi to us too. So I appreciate that. Let us know from where you're watching. We always enjoy the comments there. So Wes, let me let you any final words and I'll let you get back to it.
Man, I tell you what, I don't really have anything final. I think I'm sure me and you will meet up again, and I just want everybody to start getting in the mode, start getting into rodeo mode, start checking them out on their Facebook at the Durant Riding Club and the Durant Riding Club PRCA Rodeo. And, everybody that's listening and watching, go ahead and start stirring up a little excitement around you. Bring your friends out there. And if you came last year, that was a world-class rodeo. And I'll say this just real quick is that We had more NFR qualifiers, world champions, and contestants at Durant in a 2-day rodeo than most rodeos had all summer long. And I thought that that was phenomenal.
I did not know that. That's cool.
There was people searching for contestants, and we were at some point last year thinking, where are we going to put all these people? And that's a good sign. And I'm talking about the contestants, but please come out. You're going to love it. Maybe the announcer will do you a good job. We don't know. We'll find out how he does.
I have no doubt. Listen, I promoted it. So now you've got to back up what I said now, Wes.
Yeah, just I'll tell you what, for $5, I'll sell your name on the back of my shirt, and then we'll see how that works out for you, Dal. But no, really, I appreciate all you guys, and looking forward to coming to Durant once again. My whole family, yes.
Good deal. We look forward to seeing you. Wes Huggins, who is the announcer for the Durant PRCA Rodeo, who will be in town in less than 2 months now. God bless you, Wes. You have a good night.
Buddy. You too. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're going to let him go. And, hey, listen, I get to visit with you for just a little while longer. Shout out to everyone still watching tonight. Thank you for being here with us on BCP Live. It's a good day. It is an April 1st. I've never been a fan necessarily of April Fool's Day. I've told my kids before, it's an opportunity sometimes for people to tell you something that's not true and then just smile and go on. So I want to try to tell you things that are true as often as I can. So if you stay with me for just a few minutes longer here, we'll do it in less than half an hour tonight. I'm watching the time. So we'll try to get everything that needs to be said in that amount of time. If not, I won't keep you much longer than that. You like the 8 o'clock start? Let me know if you like that, because when we started this way back in March of 2020, we were doing it at 9:30 most every night. So then we got to 9 o'clock, and then it had been a 9 o'clock start pretty much from 2020 on through 24. When, we hadn't done the evening show in a while. We want to get it started back as we're doing right now and try to keep this Tuesday night mode. And many people will watch this live. Some of you are watching the replay, and I appreciate you sticking around to watch the replay there. If you're watching us live, let us know in the comments section. It's always enjoyable to see that come up there. But if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. That's always fun. If you're watching us on Facebook, you don't have to subscribe to anything there. But let me know. I like the 8 o'clock start, and I don't know if it's that I'm getting a little bit older. Maybe. I'm glad to be getting older. That's fine. That means that I'm still here, and I still get a chance to visit with each one of you. So that's a lot of fun. Okay. Couple things that we want to mention here. News that's gone on this week. Things that have been in the Patriot, the online edition, which is BryanCountyPatriot.com. Great way to check on news there and find things from a positive standpoint. We try to do that as much as possible. Southeastern Sports today. I broadcast sports every now and again. We need to bring that out because that is that's a part of our drinking game. Always drinking water, by the way, here on the air. But I do broadcast sports, and Southeastern, here we go, Southeastern. This is the old logo because it has the oval around it there. Softball today, split a doubleheader with Northeastern State. Lost 4-0, but they came back and won 13-5. And a big shout out to Sage Harlow, who had 3 triples in that 13-5 victory and scored a couple of runs herself. So good day for Southeastern on the softball diamond. On the baseball diamond, just as well. As a matter of fact, even better. Took both games of a doubleheader with Randall today, 13-0 and 15-1, the finals in those 2 games. So good day for the Savage Storm on the softball and baseball diamonds. Now, I know one more thing about sports is that this had come up recently. If you haven't heard, Southeastern, the facilities at the football field are going to be improved. And this has been a long time coming. Now, I am a fan of Paul Laird Field, and I've been going up Paul Laird Field since the 80s. May have gone there one time in the 70s with my family. Don't recall that. But in the 80s as a teenager in high school, and then 89 to 93 when I was there the first time around and got my degree. Lots of good memories there. I brought my firstborn daughter to Paul Laird Field, 7 days old, to watch Durant High School football game. Yes, I actually did that. And it was lots of good memories from how it is and how it's looked. Those memories aren't going away, but there are improvements, and there has been money. There have been donations that have come in, and Paul Laird Field is going to be improved and the stadium renovated, and it's going to be state of the art. It's going to be good stuff that comes in here to Durant. That's huge for our college. It is huge for our town. It is huge for our community, our county as well. And so it's going to be the Spend Life Wisely Stadium. So it's going to be Paul Laird Field. The name isn't changing there, at Spend Life Wisely Stadium. As you can imagine, First United being a significant donor in this, but that's big. And I have had people ask me even this week, when's all that going to get underway? And it looks like that it's going to get underway starting in late 2026. So it would be in place and ready for the 2027 football season, which is not just for Southeastern, but also for Durant High School as well. So following the final home game of the Southeastern Savage Storm football season in 2026, then they would start getting things underway. I'm sure there would be some demolition, shifting things around to get the construction underway. So that's when it'll get started. So in theory, this will all be in place in 2027. So keep that in mind. Had West Huggins on the broadcast tonight. Also another shout out to Eric Loftus and to Jory Whitlock and all the people who work so hard to get the Durant Pro Rodeo going strong and looking good every year. I want to remind you of one other thing as we wind things down tonight. We lost a very good man in Bryan County. We lost our sheriff this past week, and Sheriff Johnny Christian, who many of you all know and know well. And I can't give everything out there that some of you all could give so many more stories. I will tell you that I knew him to be an honorable man. I knew him to be a kind man, and I knew him to be a just man. And I appreciated when I went somewhere, and if I saw Johnny Christian there, I knew that everything was going to be all right. I knew that I was going to be safe. I knew I was going to be protected. I appreciate our law enforcement officers that are throughout Bryan County, throughout Durant, and all of Bryan County. I will tell you, though, that it was a comforting sight to me. And I don't know how to say this any better. I don't like to mince words. I always want to be somebody that you don't have to worry about what I'm saying. If I said it, I meant it. And if I didn't say it, there you go. So I'm saying this now. I knew I was in a good position. I knew I was going to be safe and protected, and things were going to go well if Johnny Christian was on the scene. And so I appreciated him. I appreciate him still. And his life will be honored at a celebration of life on Wednesday morning. That's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at the Choctaw Event Center. And then there will be a procession from there all around town to where his body is laid to rest. So I wanted to keep that on the forefront. We need to acknowledge this. We need to recognize people. We need to recognize them as they pass. We need to recognize them as they live, and to talk about the good in people's lives and to recognize Sheriff Johnny Christian. That's what we're doing right here on BCP Live. So that is tomorrow morning, celebration of life, 10 a.m. at the Choctaw Event Center. So we wrap things up here from Studio B, the Emerald Quest headquarters right here in Bryan County. I'm Joey McWilliams. I appreciate you all watching tonight. Thanks to Dottie, to Jack, to Shelley for commenting and being a part of the show tonight. Thank you very much, West Huggins, for being a part of the broadcast tonight. Who knows, we may get a chance to see him here on the show again before the rodeo, but we'll definitely get a chance to talk with him at the end of May. To all of you who are watching, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great, great night. We're going to be back next Tuesday once again, and likely again at 8 o'clock, so be ready for that. For those of you watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Those watching on Facebook, thank you very much. To all of you who have been here throughout the entirety of this broadcast, thank you all for watching. And lest we forget, okay, that we need to walk in wisdom, walk in love, do not walk in fear. All right? God bless you all. Have a great night.